Good morning, everybody. This is the Early Bird Morning Show. I'm Eric Bosch. This is Bosch Trading on Benzinga. Nice to see you all again. I was out yesterday and had some other things that I had to do previous. Well, I'm not going to get into that. It was a lot of fun, and I had a great time. So that's the main thing. So I'm really wondering what's going on with you guys today after yesterday. So I didn't trade yesterday. I did my afternoon show, the pre-market show, but it was a sell day, to say the least, yesterday. So I'm just very curious if anybody traded yesterday, if anybody... My dog is mumbling something. If anybody traded anything, did you do good, and did you have a nice time trading yesterday? That's the main thing, I think, for trading. Edward, you traded yesterday. Okay, are you a short player or a long player? What did you trade? Maybe we have a look at that. Terrible day. Yes, it was a terrible day. So I opened my screens yesterday, and I thought after the first 10 minutes, after 10 minutes in, I thought, well, this can only go wrong for me today. So didn't do a thing. And sometimes that's a good thing to do. Just say, okay, I'm not in a mood of trading anything. I'm not feeling well. I had a busy morning, like I said, so there was some... I was a little bit steamed up in a good way, but I thought, well, if I'm going to trade right now, I'm going to be just the man I don't want to be. What are good index funds, Danny? I don't know. Really, I trade stocks only. Edward, you traded Tesla and Memphis. Just for the fun of it, let's look at those. Let me share my screen with you guys, because otherwise you're going to look at my dog all day long. Hey, Stacy, good morning. OP, good morning. We took a Janet Yellen yesterday, yes. My Fino mentioned yesterday, yeah, it might fly. It's actually on my watch list. I'm just going to try to share my screen. That should be easy by now, you should think, but well. I have to add to stream. Of course I have to add to stream. There's some flickering on my screen. Do you guys see that too, or is it all right on your side? I think it's all right. I'm just gonna shut some things down that are now in the background. Good morning, JLo. Good to have you here. Good morning, Blind Trader. Let's look at Memphis. Let's look at Memphis. How did you trade this one, Edward? Because made a nice move up. Or were you short buyers on this one? Started out here, hit that top, that we liked at 1672. You also traded Tesla, you said. Oh, you stayed too long in the trades. Okay. So you were still in here and then it fell down on you here in the last 15 minutes. So you got in here, for example, and stayed in, hoped that it would break this 1672. And then it fell down on you and you didn't make any money on it. So that can happen. Now that's the nice thing about those levels that we gave you. This 1672, I think, was a level that we gave on a previous show. Okay, yeah, it fell down on you. You should also traded Tesla. Set. Tesla down from the opening and then in here big chop zone kind of structure. Tesla is really hard to trade. I really find it an annoying play to make. So before we go any further, I also uploaded on Benzinga. You can go to the YouTube channel how I trade reversal long. Please go and look at that video and let me know what you think of it. It's a 30-minute video and I try to press all my information into it. So sometimes it's a little bit, I did it live, so there was no editing or anything. So I just thought, well, I'm just gonna clear my head and gonna tell you guys all about my reversal long strategy. If you have any questions about that, please ask me. You can direct mail me or leave a comment here under the YouTube video or under the YouTube video that's now on Benzinga. But the first thing we're gonna do is look at our big friend Vino. Talked about this one a few times now. And maybe I should have stayed yesterday. Because look at this, guys. I should have had a little bit more patience yesterday because I did my afternoon show or morning show in Eastern time, but afternoon show Amsterdam time on my own trading channel, which is a very small channel, but I just love talking about stocks, so I just keep doing that. So yesterday we said 390 was a nice level, and look what it did yesterday. Just fell through that just a little bit to 388. But what you could have done, of course, is that this is a candle. I'm now looking at the 50 minutes because it's better. This is 50 minutes and this has a low of 389. And this next one just getting under that 388, then 388 again, then 388 again, and then it gets up above the 390. And then this is your pivot point, as some guys call it these days. This is where you should have taken it on this green one. Let's make this one green. Get in here, and because this line is a little bit different now because the 9 moving average on the 5 obviously changes during time. So this would be a very nice entry, and then play it till VWAP. VWAP is always a strong level, as everybody knows, I think. And at 445, so that's a 50-cent move on a $5 stock. This stock is a Fino, Fino. So Stacy, did you say that Fino would go again today, or was that somebody else? And did you play this one from the level that we gave you yesterday? Not on the pre-market, or not on the early bird show, but on the pre-market show. I said if 3090 holds, then you might play it to the upside if there's enough room, and there was enough room. 50 cents for a $4 stock is just a really nice play. So this is a long reversal play that I really love to play. Big downward move, then coming into a level that you determined in your preparation. It holds that level just. It's a little bit scary because it just fell under it a little bit, but yeah, sometimes a level is not an exact line, but just an area. And in this case, it was. And what happened is that it moved nicely to this to the VWAP, and then you could have played it. Let's see if we can play it again today. So this is on a daily. And what you really see is something happening here. I'm going to get rid of this one. So VINO might just be another play today. Edward, Tesla was too choppy. Yeah, I can see that. Take this green one away. So this is now what we have on Vino. It might just be a kind of an intraday move. It just dipped below this 90 mark that we called out yesterday. So this is now 375 on a low, but here are some strong levels also around 4. And I'm just gonna say that 550 might just be the level again on the upside. So I would say 375 and 551 on Fino for today to play it from a long side perspective or a short side perspective. If it holds that level and sets up for a long trade, then of course it's a long. If it breaks this level, especially this one, it just might fall down, and it might fall down all the way to this low here, 332. Let's put that one in also. So some other things that I noticed yesterday are UPWK. And what I see here is that it now is close to this dangerous level of, I talked about this a few times now. So this is the daily on UPWK upwork. Those nice slowly moves. It moves up slowly and then falls down big time here. Gets bought up again here. Doesn't get to that one anymore and is now more or less like a chop here. So this is, let me see, this candle on the daily is now 40.35. And yesterday we closed at 41. Enormous spread here, so You don't really want to see it fall behind this, under this 39.25. It's can be a big mover. The AGR is 247, so it's now around 41.50, 42.30 with a large spread. So you have to be careful to play this one. Certainly cannot fall under this 39. This will certainly be a short if it falls under this one. And then you will see this trickle down effect that I spoke of earlier on other stocks like MU, for example. Might just take a look at MU in a minute to see what's going on here. Sometimes I look at the stock and just with a sip of water to see if there's something that I miss, if there's a pattern somewhere that I'm not aware of. But the obvious pattern, of course, here is that it cannot fall under that 39.25 if you're long bias, and if you're short bias, then you're waiting for that to happen, and then it just might fall down. This whole area for 46.26 till 44.81 is a complete area of resistance here, with all these moving averages coming into this area. So really hard to trade this one. To the downside 39.25, to the upside 44.81 and 46.26. I'm calling the UPWK. Just because I saw this trickle down effect on UP, I just wanted to see what it's doing now. So this is what I drew in a few days ago. This is what we saw. Nice up, consolidation, up, consolidation, up, consolidation, up, just up, consolidation. So what you want to see then is this move again. And I said, well, if it's not holding these levels, these 50 levels, 9 levels, 20 levels, which were support levels all the way, and now they've yesterday, the day and the day before, they just fell through those levels. So then you might just get this trickle down effect for MU. So be very careful about MU, please, because, well, you have to look at it this way, because if I'm just gonna, I don't want to be right all the time, so I'm just gonna take these away. So just to show you what could happen. So what's going on here now is, you have to imagine some of our chat members are in the stock, hoping it will get to this 100. And what they all see this, what I see, because they are all smart traders and maybe even smarter than me. So they all see this and they all expect this to happen right now. So if people now see this move, and this is this could just be in the next move downwards, could be a lower low again and a lower high again. And if people see a lower low and a lower high after this one, and this is normally, this doji normally is a sign that it will go up again. If it doesn't do that today and breaks this level again, and a lot of people are thinking, well, this might be a nice short because I have my level here. This is a level, this 200 SME that's just sitting here at 67, let's say 68 and a half, more, yeah, 68 and a half. People looking at this chart, and if this doji doesn't deliver today or the day after today, maybe tomorrow or the day after that, then they say, okay, It's weaker than we thought. It will not pass these levels here. So it is the 9 EMA, the 50 and the 20 all clustered together here. Could be big resistance. Then they say, okay, this is now $84 stock. I'm gonna short this one to 68.50. I have a clear level. It went up a long way. Maybe some news is coming out, or there are some other effects that it can that makes it go down, and then you can say you really have to hold this 82 today, because on a candle like this you expect it now to go up again, and if it doesn't, then be very careful if you are long buyers. Good morning, Peter. Upwork had earnings yesterday. Hey, Ramon. I didn't look at it yesterday, so I don't know for Upwork. So I'm very curious what's going to do today. So let's look at some other stocks. There is, of course, Snapchat. And Snapchat is in a similar position as what we looked at just now for MU. Nice grinding up. This is a high here and had trouble getting up to that one again. Not really even trying it. So this is, if this is on a 1 minute scale, then you say, looks like chop if you compare it to this. But it is also not a good day yesterday for Snap. It fell under its 50 EMA and under the 9 and 20 EMA as well. Had some support here on the 200 SME. And if this doesn't get above this low of yesterday here, then you've got the same thing going on like you saw with MU just now, that it just can have this trickle down effect. People going short on it and buying put options on it. And then play it down to this 200 SME. There is a little level here also, as you can see. This one, this one, this one. So 48. 4802 might be the level here, might be a level here also. So really be careful if you want to play Snap today to the upside. Did it do anything? Oh, it bounced back yesterday nicely. That's good. The dip was from the day before. Yeah, I see that now. So with no real volume today, you can also play this one. Above this 56.18 and then play it to 59.11. That's your first resistance here on Snapchat. Then Twitter. Yeah, we looked at this one a few times now, and when we saw this one here, we thought, well, just might close the gap, but didn't do that. Is now just erase these ones. Is now trying to find this support here on this 200 SME. So on Twitter, I don't know. This is difficult to call. This is very difficult to call. Just gonna wait on price action for this one to play this one, because it's not an easy side, I think. Then look at X, US Steel. That's something different. So this is the daily on X. This is just very nice. You see, of course, this pattern here as I look at it also with these. This is just 2750 and this was 2740, so it's not a higher high. So this one's nice grinding up. And of course what you want to see now is that will it take out this top from yesterday, and it's just a little above that. So if you look at the pattern here, then it's obvious then after it reaches a high, so this was just a high compared to this one, it has the tendency to sell off again. So this 2750 will be a very important level, I think. So are we going to see this move? You tell me. And then the first resistance point is around 2784. Are we going to see? I was so good at this. Do you remember? So. Is this the move that we're going to see? That this is still not the high of the day. So that's always what you're trying to look for, of course. Will it go higher? Will it go lower? And you base your position on the level that the levels that you see here. So 2753 really is a level for today. On the upside, on the downside, it's 2481. I don't think it will get there in one day. So are there any levels between those? Yeah, you can just play opening and close, this opening and close area. Or you might just choose this yesterday close of 2665-ish. I think that's even better. So ideally I want this one to see go down, find some support here at 2665 and then trade it up again. If you're a breakout player, then you want to see this one break with some volume, and then you will see the pattern that I just drew here on a daily, that it will go up here. And is there anything above that you can see that's interesting? Now this is from January 2019. You can see here that this level that I drew here, 2481, was resistance here and support here. So 2481 is really something that's to keep an eye on, although it was 2 years ago. But I drew this one on a daily. I determined this one not on a daily, but on an intraday line from yesterday, and to my surprise, it turns out to be some resistance before and support also. So 2480 I really like now. So that's how you could play X 2480. Okay, just look at some of the other favorites of mine. OCGN. Yesterday, this was the day before. This was Monday. Did I get it right? See, I'm just stuck in those. Yeah, this was Monday. We had this nice breakout trade here. Get rid of those levels, and now does not seem. It's not holding this one, of course, but will it hold its 9 EMA on a daily? So that's now the big question for OCGN. So it has a tendency to really fall down and having real troubles on holding this holding the 9 EMA. It does a little bit better on its 20. Find some support here sometimes, and there's some resistance here on the 20. So also keep an eye on this 20 mark, 1013. There is no inflation, I'm on. Hey Joe, what do you think of eBay today? Let's write down eBay. Let's GMIA for OP. eBay eventually bought back by Musk. Yeah, who knows? Hey Adam. BLRX for Adam. eBay first. Well, this is what we hope to see on Twitter also. So eBay also got hit here, and so now you can see this is 200 SME for eBay. Found that as a support level, as you can see here, did that before here, and we talked about this one before. I remember now as I see this, because the first time that we talked about this one, it might be on this drop here. I'm not sure anymore, but maybe someone in the chat will point out to that. So I said it looks like this 200 SME is a significant level, because it's just falls through it a little bit and then holds it already, and then you can trade it back up from it. So that's a nice call on eBay. So there's one, there's two, and now there's the third confirmation that this 200 SME is a strong level for eBay. So somebody's buying this when it drops to the 200 SME level. So when you look at levels, of course you can look at levels like we talked about, this is a level, but all these lines that you see here are also levels. For anybody new here, on my daily I have the 200 SME, my 50 moving average, my 9 moving average, and my 20 moving average. The 50 moving average is this blue one. The 9 is the green one, and the yellow is the 20 moving average. So now sometimes you have to look at those lines, because if a stock doesn't care about one of those lines, like if it just fell through here, then you could say, okay, for this is not important enough, obviously, for this stock, to this 200 SME, but really loves its 9 EMA, as you can see. So on eBay, on the bad day yesterday that all the stocks had, it just said, okay, I'm just going to stay put here. It can move $1.75 on average. That's not an awful lot for a $50 stock. So what you really want to see is this 55.33 holding. And what's happening here? This is not on volume, so I would just say this is a better position for 50. So on eBay, I'm gonna call 55.33 on the downsides, and then 56.84, and then 58.88 to the upsides to trade eBay. Also had to look at GMIA. Now this is a stock that tries to hold now this 200 SME. Did it here, fell through it yesterday. And will it or will it not now be able to hold it? That's the big question. Well, so this is yesterday, 26.31 was the low, and today we are at 26.82. Call me crazy, but I think that this is it's gonna decide now if it takes anything, if it takes these levels here serious. So this looked like a bounce on a 200 SME a few days back. Now it fell just right through it, but it was really a bad day yesterday. So for a lot of stocks, so also for this one, are you confident enough to just trade it up when it gets above this one and really is close to this green one again, which is the 9 EMA, and then if you're beyond this triangle, then you can maybe play it to the upside, but really would be careful and just look at this triangle. If it gets above it, then you're in for the long. Because if it gets above this 200 now, sorry, then there's not immediate, but there's resistance here at a 9 just above it. So I think this is a wedge play, and you better be off waiting for a breakout here to the upside or the downside, depending on what kind of trader you are. I also wrote BRRX down. Oops. I think we've discussed this one before, as you can see. We've discussed this one a lot, so I'm going to erase those now. This is what I did yesterday. So after this big move up on May the, when was this? Oh, so this was yesterday. Yeah, I'm just getting confused with the timeline I'm on. So this one is at 6:34 now here. This seems to be a level. One time, two times, three times it hits 449. So let's make that 450. This is almost a double top. It is 628, 634. So 634 will be the level. And then if you really want to, it's gonna be 50. This level here between 50 and 490. This is an area of resistance here. So I would play BLRX by your line. I would wait to fall down. Normally it's only had an ATR of 44 cents, but that's just on average, and you can see that it can move, can make these big moves. It really wants to try to do this right now. So you want to see this one drop to the $5 mark. And you can set your stop here at 487 if you want to. 450 is a stronger level, in my opinion, right now. And to the upside, you have this breakout possibility here on 634. Let's have some momentum now here. Yeah. This is the momentum that it has. So this is also something that you want to see. You want to see this one break here, this 581. So there's another level, because during market open, just going to take those away. During market open, this was the pop. You don't chase that pop normally, so back down a little bit, then try to pop up again, but never got to this 581. Now choppy around VWAP, and it just may be choppy that like this during pre-market until markets open. Then this 581 is the one to play to the upside. If you are a trader that likes that, and these are the other levels, 499 and 487. So I like, my typical trade for these is that it falls down now, not now, but when markets open, let's assume that this is market open, what I want to see, and it's big candles falling down, and then getting to this level, and then after this one getting up here, and then I get in at this exact moment as it passes this previous point here. So this is my entry here, and then this would be my stop loss. And if I'm more careful, then this can also be my stop loss, this 487, because I know that this is a level 2. So let's see what's happening there. Stacy, R-R-O, rock. That's rock. This one, Rockwell. Oh yeah, I've got Rockwell in. This is. I made some previous predictions on Rockwell. That's what you say, Stacy. Is that something that? I don't predict anything, eh? So you said predict. Are we talking about the same stock, Stacy? Because Rock here trade. This is Rockwell Automation, and that's the ticker name for me. If you say ROK. OP, what's for your favorite drilling tool? Well, I have a Bosch refrigerator and a Bosch washing machine, and I think that's about it. And I don't own any drilling machines, and that's all done by someone for me. PRPO, okay, Peter. I'm gonna look at PRPO also. Stacy, I'm looking at Rock right now, but you said okay, there was 51.31 bounce on Rock, but I don't think that's right because this is a big stock. So let me know what you mean. So then we can go to Peter. PRPO has a few times on our radar. So this white line here is the close post-market. This blue line here is the open pre-market, and it just fell down from that. Tried to get up. And it's now just pushing to the pushing this post-market close price, but with small volume, so it's not really something that you can count on right now. Yeah, you don't want to see this big rejection candle on any time frame. At least I don't, as I'm long bias most of the time. Here is a low of 471 for PRPO. I'm not calling a level on PRPO, Peter, because I don't see them. So if I don't see them, I don't draw them. You always can say, okay, this is a level 327. But after a big rejection candle like this, if it really gets down any further, then if you're a short player, you can always say, okay, it's gonna go lower than this, but the first level that you have then is 334, and that's a long way from home. So if you want to play these kinds of moves, then you really have to look at price action for a PRPO. And if price action looks good to you, then you can trade it without levels. So I'm not going to call a level now on this one because it's just too tricky to do that. You could say this is a level here. This looks like forming a level, but with no volume at all. So if there's no volume, then it's really tricky to call a level here. So I'm not going to do that right now. So trade it on a price action. eBay was the 200 SMA bonds. Yeah, Stacy, I knew I was right. Hey, Nature Bonds. Good morning. Kadim, good morning. Do you think Palantir will come back? Pfizer. Well, Kadim, as you know, there is no inflation. It's just in your head. I'm just gonna look at Pfizer first. That's a nasty one. That's a nasty one on Pfizer. Did all right for a long time, and then this candle scares a lot of people off. I know that it will scare a lot of people off. It scares me off. Can be a very choppy one on a daily basis. As a day trader, I'm a day trader. I'm an investor in European stocks, but I'm a day trader in American stocks. So I'm gonna look at this as a day trader, and then this will be a strong area of resistance, 39.34. If you want to play that one, that's only 62 cents away from where it's now ish. So if this will bounce on that level and then find its way back up, then as a day trader, I might be interested in this one. Just might be. To predict if it goes up or down, you cannot do that. So this is a nice bounce here. If you want to buy the rumor, I heard there was a conference, or was that the other stock? I don't know. But 39.34 has to hold. That's resistance on the downside. This is just an ugly wick, I think. So on a downside, 39.35, you have to hold that one and then look if it's only trades 60 cents for a $40 stock. So that's for a day trader not so interesting to be in. So 39.34, and on the upside, I have nothing for this yet. Did I say something funny, Jana? I always say something funny because I'm from Amsterdam, so I'm just caught up in my English sometimes. Just being overexcited about stocks that I'm talking about. It's an alternative to porno. All right, Frank. I just want to see. Oh, Palantir, you want to know, Kadim, I think. Palantir. It was Palantir. Just making big moves right now, I see. Not big moves. 21.79, 22. This is the pop. Gets down and gets above the pop here. So this is something that you don't see very often in pre-markets. I think that tomorrow we're gonna just play some pre-market stocks live. just for fun. We didn't do that for some time now. So what you see normally on pops like these is that it's going like this. So popping up and then going down for the rest of pre-market. And so this is really interesting if it's breaking that first pop. So Palantir, that's the one you want to play, but you have to really look at this one again when pre-market is closed. It's early in California, Frank. Yeah, I understand what's going on with you. So Palantir, this one is 2209. Sorry, this one is 2087. This one is 2086. So I don't have to tell you what this is. This is definitely support here. Is 2198. That's the one that we just drew, I think, on pre-market. So you really have to watch pre-market until it opens. We did play this one often. Palantir level on the downside, 2086. It moves on average dollar plus, almost $1. So it can move this on average. So 2086 is really, you don't want to see that break if you are long bias. This 2198 is just in here because that's now the pop that we just saw. So I'm going to take that away, and you have to draw your own lines when pre-market is closed. And then from here, from 22-ish to the upside, this is your next level, 2269 normally. But also can say, you also can argue that, okay, it's going to stop here, right here, when it just fills this little gap here. No, that's just making up stuff. So that's something I'm not going to do. Two obvious levels, 2086 and 2269. And then just going to do rock. Well, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? This is a long way off. This looks like it wants to get back up and get above this 50. It had a strong day yesterday when a lot of stocks had bad days. So what you want to see is that it stays above this 261.55. You reclaim that now, and on the upside you have 264-ish, yellow and green coming together here. So that's always a strong level. You really don't want to see this one fall under this 50 again, because it's the effect of the trickle-down effect that we talked about a lot right now. So I'm not going to talk about that anymore. And now when I'm zooming out, is this or is this not going to be? It just might. It just might. It just might. You just might see this one not going all the way back to the 200, but getting support here on this trend line. So you might watch this one also, this trend line that I drew from these two lows. So that's rock. Please, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with your friends, give me some love under this YouTube video. If you want to see how I did today on stocks like these, then follow me on Twitter, because I'm going to tweet the stocks that I did play, or I'm going to tweet the stocks that you could have played, and also going to tweet the losers that I have. So I'm not just... Hey, Chanel, are you called Chanel? Thanks for the 250 yen. Really, really appreciate that. It's now 11 o'clock. I have to go, otherwise my producer is going to get really, really mad. He says, just take 1 hour, because otherwise, if it's longer, then people are not going to watch your videos anymore, and we don't want that to happen. So I have to do 1 hour, and very glad to talk to you this morning. Going to be back tomorrow morning on the Early Bird Show. Chanel, if you want to see how I play those long reversals, then you have to look at my video. It's also on the Benzinga channel, and you can really see there what I'm doing in 30 minutes time. It's 30 minutes time, and maybe you can learn something from that, and then you can ask me anything under this video, or direct DM me on Twitter, and I will answer your questions. Have a happy trading day, guys. This show was for information purposes only, so be very careful. Happy trading, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.